Well, Americans are noticing higher prices at the grocery store. It's about to get worse. We're going to introduce our guest in just a moment. According to the experts, though, food prices at the wholesale level rose last month by the most in 36 years. Cold weather accounted for most of it, forcing stores and restaurants to pay more for green peppers, lettuce, and other vegetables. But meat and dairy prices also surged. The big questions are how long food prices will keep rising and how high they'll go. Concerns about those prices have prompted many people to begin storing up on food. And here to tell us how much we should be storing and how to properly do it is Tess Pennington with Ready Nutrition. And Tess, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
So, I mean, this is a big topic. I mean, this includes lots of different things. But let's talk, if anything, of course, the food shortage back in the day taught us something. Let's talk a little bit about, of course, the situation in Japan as well with the tsunami and the earthquake, and folks there scrambling to try and find whatever they can. So you say people just aren't prepared here, though.
Actually, again, thank you for having me on.
You're welcome, Tess. We appreciate it.
It's not that people aren't prepared here. In fact, I think in the Houston area, people are more prepared than other parts of the country, and that's typically because of the weather that we seem to experience.
Because of the hurricane threat.
Right, and the severe thunderstorms. But I do feel like people could prepare more. And, if you take the hurricane season, people do two things. If a hurricane is imminent, they go out and they get gas, and they go and stock up on food. And typically people go and they buy all of the same types of food. So there's this huge...
for peanut butter and canned goods, certain types of canned goods.
Everybody's buying the same thing. There's a huge demand. And typically what happens if somebody comes in late and they go into the store, they might go home empty-handed.
And we're not talking about people just storing up, though, for emergency situations like a hurricane or the threat of a tsunami or an earthquake here. I mean, we're talking about because the food prices are so high, there is, quite a movement to get things started. But, when you think about that, taking on the extra food, finding the space for it, it seems like it would be expensive.
Really not so much.
Okay.
If you invest in a few tools, like a sealer and mylar bags, you can actually do this for not very much at all. And
are you rotating out the food that you're sticking in there so that it's not going to be the same food stuck in there for 5 years until you need it?
No. I mean, in fact, these mylar bags are so small that they're actually very easy to rotate into your food pantry.
All right, and then how do you determine how much food you'll actually need?
It's really dependent on how much you want to store.
Okay.
But, you can do a simple online search for essential prepping calculators or food storage calculators, and you just type in how many people are in your family. And it does all the work for you.
All right, we have some information that we found that we're going to go through with you. 10 superfoods to store, and the first one is onions and garlic. Is that something that you would recommend? Because I'm thinking, I don't really need bad breath for 5 years that I'm going to need this food. But I mean, let's talk about some of the others. Berries, broccoli, carrots, citrus fruits, all important. But when you think of food storage, like you mentioned before, you think of the canned goods or the peanut butter. You don't necessarily think of fresh fruits and vegetables.
Right. Well, what you can do is take those fresh fruits and vegetables and dehydrate them. And they maintain their caloric intake, their vitamin, all of their essential nutrition, and it's dried up, and all you have to do is rehydrate it, and you have all of that nutrition right at your fingertips. So in an emergency situation, you do want to have the whole grains and the carbs and the essential vitamins to keep up rigorous activities.
And some of the other ones on the second list here, oats, nuts, those usually last a while. Now, oats, you could get some bugs in. Red grapes, spinach, tomatoes. These are things that you're going to have to invest in something to take the water out of the food, right, initially, and then you're also going to have to invest in this and the bags.
Not necessarily. Some people they dehydrate in their refrigerator. They just set it out, and it's slow. It takes a longer process. Or you can do it in your oven at a very low setting. I have a dehydrator, and I think it cost me $45, so it's quite reasonable.
Too bad. And again, we're talking about things that you're not going to be able to store in your freezer, because if there is an emergency, you're not going to have that capability.
Right. You want everything that for emergency supplies should be stored between 65 and 80 degrees. So you can actually store it in your closet in a place that's a dark place that's not full of sunlight.
All right, well, Tess is going to stick around with us to show us how to properly store our food so that it doesn't spoil. Again, how to properly do it. The how-tos are coming your way next. We are back with Tess Pennington from Ready Nutrition to talk now about how to properly store our food. And again, I want to say this isn't just in terms of, hey, hurricane season is around the corner and you want to be ready. You know, looking at the natural disaster, of course, in Japan, that's something that's at the top of your mind. But I mean, let's say that food prices are going through the roof here and you want to save up. This is how you can do it at home. So, Tess, walk us through the types of ways that we can store this food.
Really, you just want to make the decision on if you want to prepare for short term or long term. For a short term, all you really need is a mylar bag, and these are extremely durable. They keep sunlight out, the elements, and moisture, and even bugs.
Where do you pick these up?
You can buy these online at Amazon.com. If you wanted to buy in bulk, you could go to sorbentsystems.com.
Okay. So lots of different places carry them is what you're saying.
And I mean, the marketplace on my website, Ready Nutrition, also carries these.
Okay.
But what you do is basically you just take your food. Just need a pair of scissors.
Got it.
Your food, the mylar bag. If you
let me help you out here.
For me.
This is like a two-person job. Get the kids involved.
It is. My husband Mac typically helps me, so you can be my Mac right now.
Okay.
And I usually fill these up to about probably about 3 inches to the top.
Okay. So if you can see that, that's probably not a very good. Can you see that kind of? So it's about 3 inches to the top. Okay.
So and you can do it this way, or you can also do it, this is a multi-barrier approach. Okay. And you can take your food saver right here, which vacuum seals all the oxygen. So this is
powdered milk, by the way, if you couldn't tell. Okay.
This is powdered milk, and you just vacuum seal this up, and then you put it into your mylar bag.
So once we have
this has the oxygen absorber. That's the second step to this, and this is a time-sensitive step. So that's why you want to do all of this first.
The oxygen, what is that?
Oxygen absorbers is basically exactly how it sounds. It sucks all of the oxygen out of here, so it keeps your food fresh for longer. Okay. So you want to cut these open and take out as many as you need, and then you seal it immediately back up. So this is 1,500 cc's oxygen absorber.
Okay.
And you just stuff it right down in there.
Am I going to do this?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, go ahead. And then you just want to kind of pack it in there. And so we'll take this, and I'm just going to seal this up. And I make a little crease just to kind of follow the line.
What types of things can you store in here again? I mean, everything, like you said, from fresh fruits and veggies to dry foods?
I wouldn't do fresh fruits and veggies.
Not so much.
You can dehydrate food.
And then stick it in there.
Yeah, this is mainly dry foods like rice, pinto beans, powdered milk.
Not fresh fruits. I mean, after you dehydrate them, you'd stick them in a bag like this.
You can put them in here. And the dehydrated fruits and vegetables typically last about a year.
Okay.
These can last in the mylar bag for about 20 years. So it's extremely a really good
Again, and we're talking about rotating things out. So doing this and then maybe every 3 to 6 months, then going through and using these things. So this is food that you're eating on it.
This is your food pantry.
Okay. This
is your food pantry. And I did this, I hold this for about 4 or 5 seconds just to seal it really good. And you know, the food that my husband and I bought 2.5 years ago, we're living off of it right now. So, you know, all of these inflation with the prices.
How much would you say you're saving? Quite a bit. Do you go shopping quite a bit, or I mean, we get the idea of it. So you go shopping quite a bit, though.
If I see a sale, I do, but typically we'll go to the Latter-day Saint warehouse, and they let you buy bulk foods, or you can go to Sam's, or you can go to H-E-B, or you know, your superstore foods, and go and get large quantities. So.
And where are you sticking all this food in your home?
My short-term storage is at my home, so I can grab it and rotate it into my pantry. We do have a longer-term food storage that we're working on, and that's in a undisclosed area.
Okay, so I have to ask though, because as a working woman,
Right.
I don't think I could find the time. I would find it hard to find the time to do something like this. I would think maybe if you're a stay-at-home mom or you're taking care of someone at home, you'd have a little more time to do it, but you're saying anybody can do this.
Yeah, anyone can do it, and it really doesn't take that much time. If you have bulk foods and you have all of your tools
Stuff
that
laid
you
out.
need, right, you just pour it all in. We've done, I think we put up like 60 bags of foods and whatnot in about an hour. So, you know, you do it when the kids go to bed, you know, and it's not loud, so they just sleep right through it.
And then the last question, what got you started on this? Why did you decide to make this your hobby and really your message, because you've got a website dedicated to it?
I worked at the American Red Cross right before 9/11 hit, and after seeing just what happened and how unprepared we were, it really spoke to me. So I wanted to make myself more prepared and get the community more prepared as well.
All right, Tess with Ready Nutrition, we appreciate it. Thanks so much.